Here in ST, there's a club that goes rather unnoticed every single day. They deal in a branch of science most people don't even know about. This is a story about ST's robotics team.
This is the robotics team's Bat Cave, where they meet Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays after school every week to build machines to pit against other schools in competition. We're going to learn how they began and progressed.
ST's robotics team was founded in 2007 by physics teacher Miss
It was very
Demons
small.
and 20
Mr. PA
volunteer
actually came to
students.
me and said that he had some money for a ball team, and we weren't sure if we wanted to do it. And so I put out a note on email and School Loop and said, anybody want to do this, come see me. And I had like 20 kids show up in my room. And so we started as ball, a very, very small team of maybe 5 or 6 students. For 2 years, we played around with ball, and then another school came and asked us if we wanted to do FIRST robotics, which is bigger robots, because ball's like on little tables, and FIRST robotics was like 120-pound robots. And so the kids got together with the other kids from the Gunderson, and they said, oh yeah, we want to do this. So about 4 years ago, we started doing FIRST robotics, and it's progressed since then.
So the team has really progressed over the past 4 years, actually. When I first joined the team, I'm at my sophomore year. We were actually just a bunch of ragtag freshmen who were trying to figure out how to put the robot together. We barely got a robot that moved anywhere, and since then we've progressed quite a bit. We've actually scored points. We've built a competitive robot, and we actually made it to finals. So I'm really proud of how much this team has made strides among the past few years, and I really think that they'll only continue to get better. As I left the team with 2 aspiring presidents, my brother, who is the electric president, as well as Benjamin, who's the mechanical president, as well as Eric Perella, who is the overarching president. I really feel confident in that this team will continue to do better
get engaged
and continue to beat the year
and
before.
more enthusiastically. The first couple of years, the students sat around with kind of their deer in the headlight looks, wondering what should we do. Especially at competition the first year, when the robot didn't work, they were unsure what to do in the pits. And now I've seen them progress to the point where at the last competition in Madeira, the mentors just stood back and we let the students do all the work on the robot. And they pulled it off, and I'm very proud of them.
So as the co-president, I basically, I order people around, to be honest. I used to be one of the technical people last year. I used to be a programmer. Something I did learn is that programming takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's not easy. It's a tool that makes technology work, and that this code actually helps mankind become, or what should I say, helps mankind do many of the activities they are unable to do in the past. Robots can get really messy, let me know. There's a lot of wires everywhere, and you don't know where these wires actually lead to. CAD is computer-aided design, and it's a 3D modeling program that allows people like us to model some robot up before actually building in real life. So you can find out all your errors in the computer before you build in real life and realize, oh, this piece is too long or too short, oh, I'll have to make it again, and you can avoid expensive costs in the future. But from that, I could try to make robotics actually make a workable, functioning robot.
My job as mechanical is to design and help build the robot. I do a lot of designing, and I do a lot of problem solving. If there's a problem, I attempt to solve it, and in the whole process I learn and improve the robot.
As co-president of robotics, I am the lead programmer in electrical, so I get to command my troops, let's say, to basically do their programming job and do their electrical job to get their robot done by the end of the season. As co-president, I also have some rule over mechanical people, but I am not as experienced in there, so sometimes mechanical people come back and they question me. But as co-president of robotics, I have a lot of power and I have a lot of say in whatever goes on, because as the co-president, I design the robot, so I understand what's going to be put into this robot, what's going to be on the robot, how the robot's going to function, how the robot's going to perform. And that's what I do as co-president. I also like being on the leadership team because I can lead people to the right direction. I can make decisions, and that eventually leads to robotics success.
In the robotics team, I'm a co-president, and I do a lot of designing and ordering. I don't necessarily order. I tell them what to do, and most of the time they question me. So they question me and I try and clarify, but most of the time I tell the students what to do and they do it or they don't do it.
The mechanical part of ST's robotics group mainly deals with power tools. They use tools such as drills to make holes. They also use sanders, which they use to make parts smoother, flatter, or smaller. They also use blades, which they use to cut parts that they need into certain sizes. These tools can be very dangerous. They then use these parts to make prototypes, which they test out for their efficiency, or they use these prototypes and parts on a final or spare robot,
if the
which
robot
they
is
use in
solid,
either competition or
if we
practice.
have a good solid robot, one of my goals is to make a good competitive robot. If we make a good competitive robot, then it's up to the team to make that robot perform on the field. I can't do anything about that. The only thing we can do there is have a smart strategy. We're working on strategy right now, and I feel that the students are every day looking at the rules, looking at what strategy will get them points. And if we continue to do that, I think we're going to have a good, solid team. As far as the growth of the team, I feel like it's very rewarding for myself as well as the team. When the students last year saw that their robot could perform and compete with Bellarmine and Valley Christian and some of these well-known teams, the kids were ecstatic. They were ecstatic. They just thought that there wasn't anything they couldn't do.
It's a pleasure, it's a delight to see the students, the light in their eyes as they progress during the year and as they progress from year to year, to see the inspiration in their eyes, to see them get something, to see that they think of things and I don't have to remind them, I don't have to clue them in, they figure it out on their own, and I'm really gratified to see that.
These mentors do a lot for ST's robotics group. They train these students in the many skills they know and use on the robotics robot in competition. ST's robotics group isn't just work and no play. They also played pranks and funny antics behind each other's backs, especially when teaching. Some of them are also nerds at heart, playing card games, and sometimes they play video games. Then, after working from December until February, the robotics team finally gets to show off what they've been working so hard to do in competition. The robotics team has 3 different goals in competition. The first goal is autonomous mode, where the robot has to operate itself to shoot as many points as they can. In the second part, the robot has to be driven manually to receive frisbees and then shoot them into 3 different goals, the highest being 3 points, the second one being 2 points, and the lowest one being 1 point. Each robot has a time limit and as fast as they can. The robot then has to climb a pyramid as high as it can. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. These robots break down and they have to be fixed by the teams. Went down in flames. After trying their hardest, the robotics team can do nothing but wait now, as the scores from their last battle. Fortunately, the robotics team passes as a result of their hard work.